Hello YouTube, this is Largo 64. Again on the subject of the death penalty. I've done a number of videos going back a couple of years about this situation. One of the things that people talk about is eyewitness identification. And there was a very good episode of 60 Minutes a couple of years ago. A woman who had been raped and who picked out her rapist, quote unquote, from a lineup and testified against him because she had gotten a good look at him, and he went to prison for quite a few years until another man who looked very much like the first one was arrested after another rape, and his DNA turned out to match the DNA in this woman's rape. She'd been wrong, and now she and the man that she had accused and had sent to prison are touring the country telling people that identification by eyewitness ID is not reliable. It just isn't. There are, and I can give you an example from my own experience. When I was in high school, I was studying journalism, and they had some special program at one of the local high schools where they had journalism students from high schools all over the district gathered together in one place for some kind of a convocation. They were having some lectures and some teaching sessions and some writing sessions. And they staged a demonstration that none of us knew was coming, where someone ran onto the stage and attacked the speaker. And there was all kinds of hullabaloo going on about that. But after everything settled down, they said, "Now we're going to tell you that what you just saw was staged, and we want you to go to these separate rooms. We have typewriters for every one of you, and we want each of you to write a story describing exactly what you saw." There must have been a couple hundred of us. And when the results came in, they didn't find any two that had the same description. They couldn't describe the individual who did the attack, had trouble describing the individual who was attacked. They couldn't tell what kind of clothing the person wore. I mean, there were many descriptions. Everybody saw something, but they didn't match. And they didn't even know from which side of the stage the attack had been launched. It was a good example to us at the time, and this is one of the things that they were trying to point out, that you don't necessarily know even what you think you see. Eyewitness identification is very unreliable, and there have been many other cases that have shown this and demonstrated it. So, and this is what seems to be used most often in convicting people of heinous crimes, and sometimes they get it wrong. Someone commented on my last video that if you say that anybody deserves to be executed, you can't say that you're against execution. I don't think that's correct, because I do admit that there are people that clearly we'd be better off without, that they should be destroyed if it were possible. Unfortunately, though, too many innocents have been executed and are being executed because people make mistakes. Even if you're looking right at the bad guy, you think you might be wrong, and we form impressions that are not necessarily based on the truth. Anyway, a little discussion on this. If you have any specific examples yourself, I appreciate hearing them. And I again will urge Californians to vote yes on Proposition 34 to end the death penalty. Thank you.